I'm 680 News Senior Business Editor Mike Eppel. Financial markets went into the Christmas break today with some at record highs. What a year it has been for investors on both Bay and Wall Street. Some impressive gains. But it was actually a year ago today that really saw the start of the current bull run that we have seen for investors in 2019. 2018, very different story. Markets were down, and it culminated with a massive sell-off going into the Christmas break last year. But on Boxing Day, investors came back in a big way, thinking that this year the U.S. Central Bank might be cutting interest rates. Trump was tweeting about how aggressive the Fed had been, and investors were buying big time on the day after Christmas a year ago. Since that point in time, investors have had one of the best rates of return for North American benchmarks in decades, with the TSX up by 24% over the past 12 months, the Dow's up 34%, the NASDAQ up by 44%. Things are expected to be actually pretty quiet over the next few days, heading toward 2020. Bay Street gets a two-day break for Christmas, and Wall Street will be back in business on Thursday. Well, we saw the big change at Uber continuing today, as one of the founders of the company, Travis Kalanick, announced that he is going to be stepping away from the board of directors at the end of the year. This brings to an end his connection to the ride-hailing service. He was actually forced out in 2017 as CEO due to corporate culture issues within Uber. The company went public, of course, back in the springtime of this year at $45 a share. Today was around $30, one of the more high-profile, disappointing stock sales of 2019. Meantime, Netflix has held its own against new challengers in the streaming wars, so much so that in 2020, the CEO, Reed Hastings, is going to get a nice pay increase, going up 10%. And much of this has to do with stock options, which could bring his entire pay package next year to $34 million U.S. And the flameout continued today for some of the cannabis companies on the TSX. Aurora Cannabis sold off for a second day, as the company dropped 10% Monday after the revelation that one of the top executives, Cam Batley, was leaving. Some questions whether or not he was forced out from his role at the Edmonton-based cannabis company, which has seen its stock price drop over the course of this year by more than 60%. From the 680 newsroom, I'm Mike Eppel for City News.